You mentioned Buntry giving you advice about stuff. Can you talk about the time period at Death Row when a lot of Suge's associates started to, which we later found out it was all, kind of their own group turning on each other, but a lot of people started to pass away, and Buntry was one of them that got killed, and you did you were part of a tribute song that was made and played at his funeral. Can you tell me about that time at Death Row when a lot of that stuff was going on, when a lot of Suge's associates were getting killed?
Yeah, man, it felt like a dark time. You know what I'm saying? We was up at the studio drinking and having push-up contests. You know what I'm saying? Eastwood, me, Suge, Buntry. It was a lot of us. And we was at the studio. And you know when you had those push-up contests where you put like a glass of liquor on your back and you try to do the push-ups and don't let the cup fall? You know what I'm saying? So everybody laughing while they trying to do these push-ups with keep the cup still and pouring more alcohol into the cup. Do some more then, and everybody's having fun. Corrupt is in there. We making music. You know what I mean? And then like the day after or a couple days, it might have been the very next day, but it seemed like that. That's how it feels. I went to the office and I seen Cedric and he just started breaking down crying. And I said, man, what's going on? And he said, they got him. And I said, got who? And he said, Montreal. And that shit hit me in the chest. You know what I'm saying? Because I spent a lot of time with Buntry, talking to Buntry. Because, you know, Buntry started managing one of the guys that I brought to Death Row, Darren Vegas. You know what I mean? And I would talk to Buntry about a lot of stuff because he's seen a lot. You know what I mean? So he would always give me all kind of advice, all types of advice. You know what I'm saying? Like when we would go out of town, some of the other artists, and I ain't throwing no shade, I'm just living in my truth. They'd be, in the suites or wherever they at, and I'll be down there with Buntry and them. You know what I'm saying? Wherever they at. You know what I mean? And he would give me a lot of game, like, yo, this is what you need to do. Blah blah blah. You need to do this. You need to do that. And I'd be like, man, how was Suge, man, coming up, man? And he'd be like, oh yeah, man, me and Suge used to boom boom boom. Like he would tell me these stories and all that. So I was fond of Buntry, man. You know what I'm saying? I really had love for Buntry because, you know, he took his time out to talk to a youngster, man. And he didn't have to. And so when I heard about that and all that stuff was happening and we did the tribute song, now Red was on there from the Booyah tribe. Now Gangsta Red is rest in peace too. You know what I'm saying? When we did the song, man, it was just the least that I could do to try to immortalize his name in my own way. You know what I mean? It was the least that I could do. And yeah, man, it was some dark times. I mean, I looked at the newspaper. You just keep seeing people dying that you was just in the same room with, you know, and that just heightens my antennas too because I'm one of the main artists on this label, and I'm not gonna get too deep into it, but I was given a warning, and I talked to Suge. Suge was, for some reason, I think he was in the county of violation or something. Went up there. It was one of them, phone to glass conversations. And I told him what was popping. And I said I was given a warning. And it was some serious shit. And he was like, yo. Basically he told me stay dangerous. You know what I'm saying? And so I was like, yo, I have to up everything, my awareness, what I'm doing, where I'm at. You know what I mean? Circle the house before I could pull in, all that type of shit. You know what I mean? And it was a shame, man, because Death Row Records is just one of the greatest labels of all time. And there's so much other things that could have happened, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It was some dark times, my brother, and I send my condolences to everybody. You know, I ran into Buntry son years ago. You know what I mean? Chopped it up with him. You know what I mean? And I send my condolences to everybody that was lost. You know, and to their families. You know what I'm saying? Because even like Hand Dog, you know, I had just talked to him. You know what I mean? And heard about what happened. It's a we deal with a lot of trauma, and I dealt with a lot of trauma before I even signed to Death Row. You know what I mean? The first time somebody tried to take me off this earth, I was 15. You know what I mean? And you know, I was spared, but you know, them bullet holes, you know what I'm saying, tell a true story. And it's it's a lot of trauma that we hold and we don't let go of because we were never taught to go to therapy. We were never taught to talk to people and to communicate with people about our trauma. But it'll show up in other ways and it'll come out. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm real thankful for the music because I think that was my medicine during those days, bro. Was just being able to go in the studio and go in the booth and let it out.